The core service began at CISA 10 on July 1st, 2021, and was created to help address a service gap that existed between schools and support organizations, but also to help address service gaps that other community organizations exhibit, especially ones that serve students and families. To understand our service, we need to understand the context that we're operating in. Our society is a pivotal moment in American history, and it's from that context that we really want to be thinking about the service and how we're operating. There's a significant amount of data and a variety of outcomes that shows disparity rooted in racial group membership, disability status, sexual identity, socioeconomic status, a variety of other identities. And these patterns play out both at, well, all at a local, state, and national level. These disparate outcomes have been present for a number of years, but we've seen these disparities grow even greater since the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic. At the same time, there's been an increased awareness and desire to begin to address some of these inequities by organizations. Over the last couple of years, we've seen organizations and businesses develop and release equity statements, which are a great start. But beyond that, there's been a gap for organizations wanting to actually begin to take steps to change their outcomes. In 2019, the National Center for Education Statistics released a report that showed from 2009 to 2018, the nationwide enrollment of white students across the country decreased from being 54% of the total school enrollment to 47% of the total enrollment. This signifies the first time in American history that white students were not the most populous enrollment group. Yet, at the same time, nationally, 82% of our educators are white female. In Wisconsin, this trend is very similar. The bottom line is this means that school systems are finding themselves in positions where they must prepare all students to participate in a global economy in an increasingly diverse world. Lastly, across the nation and in Wisconsin, school staff are finding themselves responsible for providing mental health, social emotional learning, trauma-informed care, behavior supports, a myriad of other things, all during a pandemic that is impacting staff personally as well. It's important to recognize, though, that collectively, educators believe in doing what's right for students. But with this responsibility comes a fear of getting those supports wrong. The core service was founded on a set of guiding philosophies. First, at core, we believe that students are the ones with a guaranteed right to be in our schools and are entitled to full access, representation, and participation in systems that seek and achieve high outcomes for all students. Secondly, schools and organizations have a lot of assets in place that can be leveraged to improve outcomes. Core services seek to map our supports onto the things that are already in place rather than reinventing the wheel. Third, we seek to begin working with our clients where they're at. We believe our client systems understand their current needs and contexts in ways that we never will. And accordingly, we begin action planning with our clients in a way that reflects the current status, but we'll collaborate to help create plans that grow and develop the systems to get the equitable outcomes they're looking for. At core, we do not utilize a one-size-fits-all approach. Rather, we provide differentiated support and differentiated services based on organizational needs. Core recognizes the need for and utilizes a process that is responsive to the client system needs and promotes stewardship of organizational resources. The services and supports that we provide will be done in a way that respect the resources, the time, the availability that your staff have, rather than providing one-size-fits-all training that require you to drop everything to attend. We also utilize a data-driven and continuous improvement process that also helps prioritize those organizational resources and stewardship. And lastly, core exists to help organizations develop, deliver, and sustain over time the desired change. This sustainability can only be accomplished through the use of a collaborative approach. Lastly, addressing equity in systems means recognizing that systems get the results that they're designed to get. And generally, systems work well for the majority of students or clients, stakeholders, and staff operating within the system. Because these approaches work for most, the policies, practices, and programs are assumed to work for all. Many organizations have taken an excellent first step by engaging in equity professional development in order to learn where inequality may live, but may not understand how or may not be able to identify the application of that professional learning into how their system is operating. At the heart of the typical approach to system delivery lies a critical recognition. Focusing on equity in systems requires systems to recognize and attend to the dynamics of difference at play within their systems. In other words, identifying how staff collaborate with each other based on shared norms, shared experiences, policies and culture, etc. This impacts how they select practices, how they may use data, how they may or may not utilize stakeholder voice and provide ownership in the continuous improvement process. For systems change to occur, these factors have to be addressed in a comprehensive manner, and that's what the core service is designed to do. We're here to collaborate with organizational systems to create a comprehensive plan to help recognize more equitable outcomes.